I'd like to welcome everyone back to So-Called Experts. Back with me again, my boy Duarte,
That's right.
my boy Acosta. We're going to change things up again and go once again to Man Talk. First one off, I just want to get this off my chest real quick. Got a special request from this on my Facebook hit.
Okay.
One of my cousins hit me up and said, you know what I would love to hear you guys talk about?
What's that?
You know who he can't stand is the man who wears Skechers shape-up shoes.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
that's just because something is in the men's section of a department store doesn't mean a man should wear it, right?
That's right. If you're a metrosexual or even a unisexual and you're using shoes to make your butt or your rear end look good, it shouldn't be shape-ups and it shouldn't be sold with the name Skechers on it.
I'm saying if you gotta wear the same guy that wears Skechers shape-ups is the same guy that wears capri pants.
That's true. He's probably not European, you know what I mean?
And again, just because it's in the men's section does not mean a man should
You
wear
always
it.
have in that men's section, that little section that's fading into the women's. That's probably where it's
Right,
at.
that's
It's
probably
that
where
little
it's at.
gray section.
So man, stay away from that little medium area there, right?
That little gray
Right.
section.
So we got
You know, what I have is, we're seeing a lot of kids running around nowadays, and one thing that I can't stand is I can't stand men who can't take care of their responsibilities.
What do you mean?
What I'm talking about is I'm talking about that guy who's busting out babies like crazy, but he's doing everything that he can not to get a job. So what he's doing is he's on food stamps, he's on unemployment, he's working under the table just so he doesn't legitimately have to pay for these damn kids. I mean, he's living a lavish lifestyle,
Balling
and his
it up,
kids are
yeah.
suffering.
He's working harder to not work.
if he could just work, he'd put in less time and effort than doing it. But that's also the same guy who takes a crying baby to the movie theater, and when you're trying to
I
watch
can't
the
stand
movie,
that.
he just sits there like if nothing's going on.
You watching Rap Times and you hear some baby, yelping in the back. God,
That's what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
stand
I
that.
You know what? But it'll give you a little promptu. When you're watching a movie, it'll say, hey, all cell phones off. What it should say there, it should have a big baby in the front. All babies off. And if not, it should have somebody kicking you and the baby out of the damn movie
Well,
theater.
you know why
AMC
he's in there,
theaters,
too?
that's for you.
You know why he's in there too? Because he's working hard and not working, right? So he's in there with his video camera trying to bootleg the movie. That's why he's in there with the baby.
That's probably very true.
You know what I can't personally stand? And we all know one of these type of guys. I can't stand the guy who fronts like he's a badass when his wife's not around. He's out there puffing his chest, talking about how he runs the house and how he's, just beating like a gorilla. And the moment his woman walks in, hey, what's up, baby girl? Put head to the ground. Just, what's up, baby girl? No, I love you, baby girl. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sure, so I can't stand. Just be who you are.
The guy who you're outside with the guys and he pretends like he has to go pee so he
Yeah.
could go inside and check in with his wife.
Right?
Or the guy that has to pretend to go pee so he can explain all the bad things he was saying while she wasn't there.
No. The guy who's telling us about how much he hated the waiter so much, he's talking shit to him, and his wife is on the inside telling the girls, oh, my babe was really nice for the waiter. He really come. Like, two different stories. Come on, now.
But you know what that goes into? You know what I can't stand? I'm not married, but it seems like every man I hang out with is. You know what I can't stand? Going out with married men in a group. Because all I hear all night is how every woman in the bar is looking at him. How the waitress gave him the check and that she's
Right.
flirting with
Or
him.
if how he wasn't married, he would be doing the whole damn bar.
Those guys who are always trying to catch a creep on the down, like, what's up? No, I want to drink.
But the funny thing about that guy is I knew him when he was single and he wasn't doing anything he says he would do.
He was posted up on the wall, just chilling.
Yeah,
I don't
just
want to
chilling.
dance right now, bro.
Just
I'm
chilling.
good. I'm good.
And he's betting 1,000 because the one time he made a move, he married that girl.
That's it. Yeah, you put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it.
You know
But he was
what-
the Mac Daddy.
One thing for me is one thing that I cannot stand is I don't understand this whole Facebook and some of these underlying, little tags and little language that's going on is what's the whole thing with poking someone?
I don't get that.
I don't get it.
I don't get
so I'm talking to my friend who I know is like a Facebook junkie, and I said, "Hey, what's going on with Facebook? Hey, what happens if somebody pokes you?" And his response is, "Hey, if somebody pokes you, it's like softcore porn." I was like, "What do you mean softcore porn?" They're like, "Yeah, it's like dry humping." I was like, "Dry humping? So what are you doing? You're exchanging pokes the entire night? Just poking?" He's like,
But on the outside of clothing?
on the
Yeah.
outside of
On the outside
and I
clothes.
asked him, I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, one day I stayed up for 3 hours and I was just poking the same chick. I was like, so you want me to believe that you were up for 3 hours pushing a button? He's like, yeah, it was cool. I was like,
Hey,
cool.
she likes me.
It's the best night of her life. That's what she said.
Hey, at least he wasn't like a 1 minute man though, you know what I mean? 3 hours, that's a lot of poking.
It's not like he poked once and he was done. He's in there for the long run.
Hey, he impressed her.
And
He was wasn't faking the fuck.
If you're a girl and you get poked for 3 hours, you can't complain.
You better put a ring on that, man.
You better put a ring on him. Put a ring on him. I'm just saying. I mean, that's funny. I've never heard of poking.
It happens.
It happens. I guess no one likes me because I haven't been poked.
You know what I can't stand?
What's that?
What's up?
A woman who's not in touch with reality.
What do
If
you mean?
you got 3 kids from 2 different baby daddies, you live at home and you got no job, and you're out there on Facebook, on tweeting, talking to your girlfriends, how about there ain't no good man? Maybe you gotta take a look in the mirror. I mean, really, girl.
The thing about that is women always complain about how there's no good men out there, but they got like 3 really good friends, but they're too nice.
Yeah. Oh, he's a friend.
He's
That's
in the friend zone.
And you know what? I
Get
can't,
him out
no,
of the friend zone.
What I hate about that woman is she'll compare every man out there in the real world to a guy on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you be like Brad Pitt?
Yep.
Girl, there's one Brad Pitt.
That's it.
We're not
That's right.
designed that way.
You know?
And Brad Pitt cheated on what's her name, Jennifer.
Yeah,
My
Brad
dad,
Pitt,
was, my dad was a farm worker. He wasn't a gladiator.
Oh man, women, come on, stay in touch with reality. You know what I mean?
Really?
Stop putting this on this pedestal.
You know what? Another thing that I can't stand is I can't stand that girl that when you're out, she swears she's one of the boys.
Oh, man.
She waits for everybody to order. She orders the same exact thing. She orders the same thing a guy. Hey, I'll order a beer first, and I'll have an appetizer with wings. I can't stand that girl. Everything that comes out of her mouth is what just came out of your mouth 10 seconds before.
Exactly.
But she rocking the jersey. She knows about her team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She's drinking beer. She's talking about commercials. She's talking about everything. But it's like what you said. Though.
And you know what? She has a jersey of the team, but it's of the player that played 10 years ago. So you know that she bought that jersey in the yard sale.
And here's the fact. She's denying the fact in her head that no matter how much we're all talking about sports around her, that we're all in her head thinking about having sex with her. That's the truth. Let's just kick the truth. You know what I mean?
You're with the guys for one reason. You know what I mean? You know what I can't stand personally? Women. Y'all gotta just understand this. Y'all want equality. You want feminism, right? But all I hear all the time is, why can't men put the seat down?
Right?
But if it's equality, women, are you guys that? I mean, just think about it. When was the last time you heard a man complain, why can't you put the seat up? Right?
Never.
We need to start saying that. We need to start saying, women, put the seat up. Is it that hard to put the seat up? You complain, is it that hard to put the seat down?
Flip over the switch.
It's so easy, right? If you can, and they fall in the toilet. How dumb do you gotta be to fall in the toilet?
Why are you admitting to anybody, period, that you're falling in the toilet? Like,
Women,
really?
come on, step your game up real quick. But for Man Talk, for Duarte Acosta, you got any last words?
I'm good, baby boy.
I love all of you out there.
So-called experts, follow us on Facebook, on YouTube. We're out.
And don't poke me.